M4, Darren.
All right, good morning.
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 As I do every year, or we do every year, we're going to come to you with our 2023 street reconstruction project. This year we have, first I want to start out, we are going to formally request that the City Council consider authorizing the city manager to execute a contract with Reynolds and Kay for the construction of the 2023 street reconstruction project in the amount of $4,784,777.85. That is the full project. Right now we have, as part of that project, we have 9 streets totaling about 12 lane miles worth of reconstruction. And I know you're probably going to ask, what does previous FDR mean right there on Blue Mountain? That's where we stopped last time, where we have already had a full depth reclamation. So we are starting where we stopped and then continuing that on to Old Jacksonville. So, but as you all may remember, the reason we do this is our pavement condition index, our pavement condition just gets below too low where we cannot salvage it any longer. We cannot do an overlay, we cannot do a seal coat or anything like that. It is basically beyond hope, so we have to actually replace it. Right now, we advertised for bids on April 9th. We opened bids in late May. And one thing about this project is that it includes some inlet repairs, 18 inlets on Grande. The throats and some of the curb right around it are in jeopardy of in failing. And we also have some concrete alley repairs that are a part of this. So as you can see by the map, the streets are located generally in the south side of town. And Half Cent approved this yesterday, approved funding for it. You do have the cost estimate, the bid tab. We had 2 bidders, L&S, Lone Star, and Reynolds and Kay. Reynolds and Kay was the low bidder. So at this time, I want to go ahead and show you also, we are not paying for all of this out of the Half Cent fund. We are paying for $4.472 million out of Half Cent. The street department, curb and gutter funds, is paying for the Grande inlet repairs, and concrete alley repairs fund is paying for the concrete alley, the alley repair fund. So at $274,445 to get the total. So what we did is we worked with Sarah McCracken over in maintenance, worked with her to get basically an economy of scale on adding those improvements that are needed. Instead of going out for separate contracts for those, we just put it all together to get an economy of scale on this one bidder and one project. So at this time, I'd like to request the City Council consider authorizing the city manager to execute a contract with Reynolds and Kay for the construction of the 2023 street reconstruction project in the amount of $4,784,777.85.
And years ago, there was a fund that was created, Fund 103, or some fund that where property tax goes into it, goes towards streets.
Yeah, you have about 2 pennies that go from your property tax levy that goes to fund street maintenance repair. That fund pays for the majority of your seal coating and crack sealing that you do throughout the city, as well as, you know, the one thing that he showed a minute ago is on the repairs that are being done for the alleyways, for example. That's being done from Fund 103. So that's where you're able to utilize those funding source for that maintenance type of stuff, repairs, whereas and then with Half Cent, you're continuing to do overlays, which is really, you're tearing out the street and putting a new street in, so that level of reconstruction.
Okay. Any other questions for Darren?
Yeah, Darren, what, in your opinion, are the leading causes that result in reconstruction as opposed to overlay, or what causes it to get to this condition?
What causes the PCI or pavement condition index to get so low that it's kind of beyond hope?
Yep.
Beyond hope. Part of it's the age, part of it's the traffic. Sometimes we try to get the maintenance done, but we just don't have the funding for it. So we aren't able to do an overlay as every 7 to 10 years or or seal coat as often as we need to. And other times it was just poor construction or just general failures.
Are there any base failures that?
There are base failures that come into that. Some of it could be by the springs, the groundwater we have here caused by that, and just.
Did they address the base before they go back and redo the road?
Yes, this is a full depth
Okay.
reconstruction.
So what happens on Holly Tree Drive? Is that a reconstruction?
It is a reconstruction. That is correct.
Is this bad?
Yes, it is.
Darren, to that point
You
on
got
Holly
ability
Tree
to
Drive,
fix
and I've brought this up to both Ed and Cameron. There's a lot of construction taking place on the backside of Holly Tree right now, closer to the Cumberland area. And before we go tear up Holly Tree Drive, reconstruct it, it's a beautiful road, and we have all these construction vehicles coming in. I don't want them to tear up a brand new road, and so I'd like to see some coordination there with the construction that's currently taking place to make sure either we put a weight limit restriction on the entrance to Holly Tree where big trucks can't get through and tear up a new road, or some kind of requirement where they have to use Cumberland to come in, or we simply just wait until they finish, those big construction projects in the back. Because what I don't want to see is a brand new road torn up by construction that's currently taking place. So I just want you to make note of that and coordinate that project, and then maybe we can get with Cameron also and figure out some kind of weight restriction or something for Holly Tree Drive.
We can do that.
Okay.
No problem.
Thank you, Darren.
All right.
Move to approve M4.
Second.
Got a motion by Curtis, second by Wynn. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.